Pyongyang, city of the forever revolution. Giant skyscrapers touched the sky, monuments to the Workers' Party's power. Colorful propaganda banners waved from every building. Pictures of the great leaders, past and present, looked over their loyal people. But underneath, a darkness grew. The honkai, a bad force wanting to ruin everything, cast its shadow over the world. Pyongyang, a shining light of strength, became humanity's last safe place against the growing darkness. Here, in the heart of North Korea, a new kind of soldier was born. They were the Valkyries, young women with the honkai's power, using technology no one really understood. Their mission to protect their home, their friends, and their way of life from the coming darkness. The Crimson Lily Squad, a name that strikes both fear and admiration in the hearts of many. North Korea's best Valkyrie unit, they are the elite force trained to handle the most dangerous missions. Their bright red uniforms against the city were a symbol of fighting back and never giving up. These uniforms were not just for show. They represented the blood, sweat and tears shed in the name of their country. Each Valkyrie, chosen for her skill and toughness, carried the hopes of the nation. These women were more than soldiers. They were the embodiment of North Korea's resilience and determination. Leading them was Captain Cho Mi-cha, a name synonymous with bravery and leadership. Serious, disciplined, her strength came from many battles. Her eyes, hardened by the horrors of war, reflected a steely resolve. Her battle suit, the Iron Magnolia, crackled with energy. This suit was not just a piece of equipment. It was an extension of her willpower and combat prowess. It was a wonder of North Korean engineering, a mix of regular weapons and honkai technology. This blend of old and new made the Iron Magnolia a formidable tool in battle. Mi-cha held her energy sword, its blade buzzing with power. This weapon, like her suit, was a testament to the advanced technology at their disposal. She looked over her squad, each member showing North Korea's unbreakable spirit. These soldiers were not just fighters, they were symbols of hope and defiance. There was Park Yoon-ji, the team's sniper, her silent sniper battlesuit making her almost invisible. Her precision and stealth were unmatched, making her a deadly force on the battlefield. And Kim Sun-hee, the team's engineer, whose Red Hammer battlesuit was covered in drones and robot weapons. Her expertise in technology and engineering provided the squad with an edge in both offense and defense. The air felt electric, charged with an unseen tension that seemed to ripple through the very fabric of the city. It was as if the atmosphere itself was holding its breath, waiting for something monumental to happen. Reports came into the Crimson Lily's command center, telling a bad story. The screens flickered with urgent messages, each one more dire than the last. Analysts and officers moved with a sense of purpose, their faces etched with concern. A huge honkai energy surge near the border. The readings were off the charts, unlike anything they had ever encountered before. The ground trembled slightly, a prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. The biggest they'd ever seen. The enemy was coming. Explosions lit up the horizon, casting an eerie glow over the city. The soldiers knew that this was no ordinary threat. It was a battle for survival. Mi-cha spoke to her squad, her voice calm and strong. She had been through countless battles, but this one felt different. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her shoulders. Comrades, it's time to defend our home. We stand on the brink of a great challenge, but we are not alone. We have each other, and we have our unwavering resolve. We are the shield that protects our people, the sword that strikes down our enemies, for the great leaders. Her words ignited a fire within the hearts of her soldiers, their spirits lifted by her unwavering confidence. The Valkyries shouted together, their voices full of determination. They knew the dangers. They had trained for this moment, and now it was time to put their skills to the ultimate test. They knew what they might have to give up, but they weren't afraid. Only duty. The sense of camaraderie was palpable, each soldier ready to lay down their life for the greater good. Only the burning need to protect their home. Their eyes were steely, their resolve unbreakable. They were ready to face whatever came their way. The defense plans, practiced for years, kicked in. Pyongyang became a fortress. Barricades were erected and defensive installations were activated, transforming the city into an impregnable stronghold. Energy shields turned on, putting a shimmering wall around the city. The high-tech barriers hummed with power, a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Big guns, able to destroy honkai monsters, locked onto their targets. The artillery was primed and ready. each weapon a beacon of hope in the face of overwhelming odds. The Taedong River, once peaceful and beautiful, became a battlefield. The honkai came like a wave of ugly monsters, their bodies twisted by the evil force inside them. They rushed the city, hungry to destroy. The Crimson Lily squad was ready. Their battlesuits shone under the lights, their weapons ready to kill. They were the first line of defense, standing between the horrors of the honkai and the city they promised to protect. "Open fire!" Micha yelled, her voice almost lost in the noise of battle. Explosions and light filled the night. Artillery shells rained down on the honkai, burning them to nothing. The Valkyries, moving with perfect skill, cut through the enemy. Part 5. Steel Typhoon versus Creepy Fog. The dawn broke over a battlefield shrouded in an eerie mist, the air thick with tension and the promise of conflict. The Valkyries stood ready, their resolve unshaken despite the ominous atmosphere. Micha, a blur of metal and energy, cut a path through the enemy. Her movements were a dance of precision and power, each step calculated, each strike deadly. Her Iron Magnolia battlesuit, a masterpiece of North Korean engineering, moved with surprising speed. It was a marvel of technology, designed to enhance her abilities and protect her from the relentless onslaught. Every swing of her energy sword sliced through honkai flesh, leaving trails of glowing energy. The blade hummed with power, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos, but the enemy kept coming, endless waves of ugly monsters crashing against the Valkyries. Their grotesque forms seemed to multiply, each one more fearsome than the last. Then, a scary feeling came over the battlefield. The air grew colder, and an unnatural silence fell, broken only by the distant sounds of battle. A thick, creepy fog, coming from the honkai, started to spread. It rolled in like a living entity, tendrils of mist reaching out to ensnare the unwary. It made them weak, whispering doubts and fears into the Valkyries' minds. The fog was more than just a physical barrier. It was a psychological weapon, designed to break their spirit. Micha felt its touch, trying to get into her mind. It whispered of failure, of loss, of the futility of their struggle. But she didn't give in. She steeled herself against the insidious whispers, drawing strength from her training and her unyielding will. She held on to her training, her duty, the memory of her fallen friends. She wouldn't break. Each memory was a shield, each thought of her comrades a bulwark against the encroaching darkness. Not while her city, her home, needed her. The thought of her loved ones, of the innocent lives depending on her, fueled her resolve. She would fight on, no matter the cost. The battle started to go badly. The creepy fog, weakening and scary, made the Valkyries doubt themselves. Their movements, once smooth and precise, became slow. Doubt crept into their minds, whispering that they couldn't win. Micha, struggling to stay strong, knew they couldn't win by just fighting harder. They needed a miracle, or maybe a gamble. "Sunhee," Micha said over the radio, her voice strained. "Get the Pyongrade protocol ready." "Captain, but..." Sunhee's voice shook. "The risks." "We have no other choice," Micha interrupted. "Do it, for North Korea." Sunhee, crying, started the Pyongrade protocol. It was a desperate, last chance, a gamble with huge risks. The Red Hammer battlesuit, pushed too far, began to overload, its energy going crazy. A blinding flash, like a small sun exploding, covered everything. The air crackled with pure energy, like reality itself was bending. The honkai, caught in the blast, screamed as they disappeared into nothing. When the light was gone, the battlefield was quiet. The honkai, once a huge wave of monsters, were gone, destroyed by the Pyongrade protocol. But the win came at a terrible cost. Where Sunhee and her Red Hammer battlesuit once stood, there was only a hole, still glowing with honkai energy. The Pyongrade protocol, while powerful, had destroyed her completely, leaving only burned ground and the memory of her sacrifice. Victory. A sad victory. The honkai were pushed back, their forces broken by the Crimson Lily squad's brave fight. Pyongyang, still standing, had survived. But the cost of their victory was heavy on the surviving Valkyries. Micha, her Iron Magnolia battlesuit damaged but working, stood at the edge of the crater, her head down in sadness. She had known the risks when she told Sunhee to use the Pyongrade protocol, but knowing and accepting were very different. "She died a hero," Unji said softly, putting a hand on Micha's shoulder. Her voice, usually happy, was full of sadness. Micha nodded, unable to speak. Sun Hee's sacrifice had saved the city, had saved many lives, but it didn't make losing her any easier. The sun rose over Pyongyang, shining its warm light on the damaged city. The battle was over for now. But the war against the honkai was far from over. The Crimson Lily squad, smaller but still strong, would keep fighting. They would fight for their home, for their fallen friends, for a future free from the honkai. And as long as one Valkyrie was still alive, North Korea would stand tall, a light of hope in a dark world. The sky above Pyongyang, red with the blood of heroes, was a reminder of the sacrifices made and the battles to come. The honkai would return, but so would they, stronger, more determined. For North Korea,